think of putting like chili sauce in cream. Car Obsession is proudly supported by Exchange My Car, Carly and Draggy. For a limited time only, use Car Obsession 10 to get money off with Carly, and there's also a discount code for Draggy as well, which again is Car Obsession 10. All of the details are in the video description below. Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another point of view review. Now I'm doing things a little bit differently this time around. Before we go for a drive, I want to show you a bit more around the car, just to shake things up a little bit, just to keep things fresh. You may like it, you may not. So yes, the car you see in front of you is the new Kia Stinger GTS, which looks fantastic. And this paint is Ascot green, which I think adds a certain class to the vehicle. A very smart looking car. You've got 19-inch alloys, and behind them you have big brakes supplied by Brembo. And when we go to the back, you will see, or hopefully see, that I've got not one, not two, but 4 exhaust pipes. What exactly is linked to those exhausts so well? Let's find out. That of course means opening the sleek bonnet. Under here, there is a 3.3 litre turbocharged V6 petrol, which offers 366 horsepower along with 510 newton meters of torque. If you prefer that in pound-feet, I will of course drop a subtitle below. But what about performance? Well, this will hit 60 miles per hour in 4.7 seconds, and the top speed is 167 miles per hour. Power is fed to the rear wheels via an 8-speed DCT and a limited slip differential. Right, are we all good? I think it's time to go for a drive, isn't it? Of course, that means closing the bonnet. Wouldn't get very far with the bonnet open, would we? And let's slip my way into the very sumptuous Napa leather driver's seat, which is electronically adjustable, as you can see. Fire up those 6 cylinders. The V6 is a bit muted. Kia's approach is more refinement than out-and-out savagery. I'll pop it into drive mode now. If it's clear, I will do a launch, but this bit of road is normally quite busy, so I don't know how successful we will be. But to pop it into launch control, there is a bit of a process to it, but it's not that difficult. So to begin with, the engine needs to be up to temperature, which it is. Let's just get rid of that. Come on, there we go. This isn't a good advertisement for the touchscreen. Normally, it's a lot more seamless than that. I don't know why it's being a bit funny. So yes, sport mode. So you've got the knob down here. Then what you need to do next is to hold this button down. That's the traction control, for 3 seconds with your foot on the brake, and then you need to wait for that. So traction control and ESC disabled, and then you're good to go. It's left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and then away you go. Obviously you need to put it into drive. That's quite important. Right, okay, so I think we are good. Okay, right, so and away we go. Oh, bit of squirming from the rear. Oh, hello. And there we go. Just crept over 60 a little bit there. Obviously, not by much. So yes, it's pretty fast. Let's turn that back on. Let's keep nice and safe. Now, I've done a few launches in this. I must admit, out of all of the launches I've done, that's been the most frisky. The back end was quite lively then. Not that I mind, adds to the character, adds to the fun of the fair. Right, make myself comfortable. There we go. Now it is a nice day, so we do have a few Sunday drivers out. That Renault up front isn't going particularly fast, but never mind. It gives me a chance to talk you through the car. So yes, this is the Kia Stinger GTS. This is the facelifted model, which was introduced towards the end of 2020 and the start of 2021. And this is really Kia's flagship performance car, arguably their only performance car. The idea of this car is to take the fight, the performance saloon fight, to the Germans, and I would argue it does a good job of that. The V6 engine performs well. The 8-speed DCT is a little bit laggy, and on the up changes you do feel a little jerkiness and a small pause, so it's not quite as seamless as that of a DSG or an S-Tronic, but it's far from awful. That's the collision warning. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. Now, whilst I'm stuck at, well, I was going to say a slow speed. It's not that slow, is it? But let me talk you through the interior, which I think is a very nice place to be. It's not screaming with character, but the idea is that it's meant to be classy, premium and upmarket, and I would say it ticks all of those boxes. You've got nice soft touches, you've got leather on the dash, you've got this brushed aluminium effect on the center console, and look, Alcantara for the headlining. That is very, very pleasant. Very, yes. I can't think of the word. Very swanky. Not the word I was looking for, but it will do. There's 5 driving modes on offer. I have, so hopefully you can see them. I have Smart, which is essentially an automatic driving mode that will respond to the driver's inputs. Eco, which I would argue is pointless in a car like this. Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Let's pop it back into Sport. Now, one great thing about this car, one of many great things, is that when you put the drive mode into Sport or Sport Plus, the bolsters on the driver's seat, they inflate, they hold you in place better and hug you tighter. So when you're going through the twisty stuff, you're not rolling about in your seat. I really like that, and the seats are really comfortable as well. This car has a split personality. You could leave it in comfort, and all of a sudden you've got a Grand Tourer which is capable of munching up many, many motorway miles, or you can pop it into Sport and you've got something a bit more performance focused. Well, I say a bit more, a lot more performance focused. The gearbox is snappier, the steering is heavier, and of course you get more response from that 3.3 litre V6. Speaking of the steering, it is a positive thing to use. It's responsive, and although this car is getting on for 1900 kilos, in the corners it actually feels quite light on its feet. It feels relatively, I do want to stress the word relatively, nimble. It's no Lotus Elise of course, but it does a good job when it gets twisty. There's very little in the way of body roll. At each corner I've got Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tyres, which are very sticky, and I've got the Brembo brakes I mentioned earlier, which do perform well, but I would want a bit more bite on the initial dab of the brake pedal. I do feel like when you first hit the brakes, it is a little bit numb in my opinion. Anyway, that's enough talking from yours truly. I will shut up for a bit and just let you enjoy the ride. I'll get myself comfortable. Beautiful scenery. power is pretty ferocious. But it's delivered in quite a smooth manner. I took one of my friends out for a passenger ride in this yesterday, and the way I described it was this car is aggressively smooth, which I know sounds like a contradiction, but it kind of fits, it kind of works. This car is aggressive, but in a smooth way. Think of putting like chili sauce in cream. You've got the nice smoothie texture of the cream, but you've got the kick of the chili sauce. I don't think that'd be a particularly tasty combination, but you get what I mean. Another thing that is smooth is the ride. I know I hit a bit of a divot there, but I do have the car excuse me, I do have the car in sports mode. But even so, the ride is still lovely and compliant, and if you do want more comfort, you can of course slip it into comfort. This car has got adaptive dampers, and all of a sudden you've got something which is just really dreamy to drive. It's lovely, it's really, really pleasant. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting the ride to be this good. It is very, very pleasant. As pleasant as these roads. But hey, life is a bit too short to live in comfort mode all of the time. Let's get back into sport. I'll overtake the cyclist. As much as the ride has surprised me, in a pleasant way of course, another thing that has surprised me is the playfulness. When you pop it into Sport or Sport Plus, the rear end isn't afraid to let you know that it wants to have a good time. Now, that's not to say that you go everywhere in this car sideways, but at the same time, if you do want to have a bit of fun in your Kia, it is all too happy to dance with you. There's been times where I've set off from a junction or at a roundabout. Granted, I've put my foot, planted it straight into the carpet, but sometimes you'll find that the back will give you a little wiggle just as you get off the line. I really like that. It gives you the kind of character that, let's be honest, its German rivals can't really match. Audis, I've driven a few, I've been very lucky in that regard, and don't get me wrong, they are fantastic, they are very efficient, but in some respects, in some models, they are a bit too efficient to the point where they feel cold, clinical, and they have no emotion. They almost have no soul. It's almost like driving around in a big microchip as opposed to something with an engine, if that makes sense. No such problem in the Stinger though. Yeah, this car, it feels alive, it feels alert. I do really like that. Now, in regard to what you get as standard, in fact, before I cover that, the Stinger GTS has a starting price of £44,160, which, to put that into some kind of perspective, some context, a comparable German rival, you're probably looking at least £50,000, and that's before you spec up any options. This car has no options apart from the Ascot green paintwork. Apart from that, everything you see in front of you is standard. So yes, what exactly do you get as standard? So 19-inch alloys, keyless entry, front and rear LED lights, front and rear parking sensors, reversing camera, and all-around view monitor, 10.25-inch touchscreen, DAB radio, navigation, Bluetooth, smartphone connectivity, dual zone climate control, heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, electronically adjustable front seats, heated rear outer seats, park assist. The list goes on and on and on. You've also got the blind spot monitor, I believe Kia call it. There we go. That's quite a snazzy feature. Although, as you can see, I don't tend to use the cameras or anything. I'm a bit old school in that regard. Now, before I get out of this lovely, picturesque, sleepy village, I will just speak about fuel economy. On a combined run, Kia states that you can get up to 28 miles to the gallon on a combined run, and the CO2 emissions are 229 grams per kilometre. In regard to what fuel economy I've been getting, I'll just flick across. So on this drive, I've got 20.5 for the accumulated information, which I reset when I got the car. As you can see, that's, well, you can't see it now, I've turned the steering wheel, wait for it, that's 19.2. so yeah, needless to say, I have driven the car quite hard, but hey, it was made to do so. Right, let's get my performance gauges up. Where are we? There we go. And where we go. Whoa, I love the way how this thing takes off. It's so rapid. I've got to mention, I do have a head-up display as well, which you might not be able to see because the camera lenses aren't very good at picking it up compared to the human eye, but rest assured that is there. And there's very little that you'd be wanting for in this car because it has pretty much everything you are likely to need. Love this bit of road. Almost feels like a hill climb. I suppose in some respects it is a hill climb, just a public road. Now, for those of you wondering just how the 8-speed DCT works when you take control yourself, you know how good it is. I've got nothing behind me, so I can slow down a bit. To be fair, it is pretty quick. Not the seamless, like I say, but the changes are quick enough. Although that time I had to hit it twice to get second. And then I have asked for fourth. I didn't get it. So yeah, it's not bad, but there's definitely room for improvement if you ask me. Oh, now that was quite a fun drive. Lovely view of the South Downs there. Well, you guys can't see it just yet. Group of people enjoying an ice cream, why not? Beautiful weather for it. And speaking of beautiful, just look at that. The wondrous South Downs. What a view in which to end the video. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Yeah, needless to say, the Kia Stinger GTS is a very good car. I just don't understand why you don't see more of these on the road. Actually, I do know why. It's because of that badge right there, which, that for me, that's not a bad thing, but there's so much badge snobbery happening that yeah, too many people just go, no, I don't want to buy this Stinger, I want something German, and they are missing out on what is a very good car. But yes, there will of course be a full review coming soon, so be sure to look out for that. I do hope you have enjoyed this video. I found it useful. If so, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.